UN Decade of Action in the region of Europe and Central Asia?
You know, we've heard a lot of really good things here at the conference, at the Congress, that they are doing a lot of the right things. We're seeing the numbers come down. We're halfway through now the Decade of Action Challenge, and we're going to have to start evaluating the performance. As I've told many people, that if those numbers are not coming down, you're not meeting that challenge, there's going to be some embarrassed ministers. And unfortunately, embarrassed ministers usually mean people lose their jobs. So they are making some effort, but understanding, you know, the three basic stools of the road safety stool, and that's basically the vehicle, it's the driver, the pedestrian, and then it's the road itself. And when it comes to the road, the driver or the pedestrian, again, it's the educational programs. There's a lot of work to do there. They're making some progress, teaching the kids. The graduated driver's license programs, again, some work to do there. Putting in the campaigns. Motorcycles, you know, is a whole nother avenue, and that's becoming a bigger issue here. And we saw that in the next chapter of the Decade of Action, motorcycles will be a separate animal, and we're going to address those, some of the motorcycle safety. But then when it comes to the vehicles, one thing that's frustrating for me is to see the vehicles that are being driven here are maybe not at the same 4 or 5 star level that the vehicles that we have in other countries in Europe or the US are. And I ask the question, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, and so maybe the goal for vehicle change is, it's tough to do anything about all the vehicles that are here. It's just tough. But think about your grandchildren. Could you do something today so the vehicles your grandchildren are driving are maybe going to save their lives? And then the last thing is the road itself. And there's a whole lot of technologies and best practices that are available that I'm guessing people in this area just are not aware of. And it's somebody's responsibility to take accountability and become aware of it. So, you know, those 3 areas, it's kind of a broad brush, but those 3 areas are things that they need to address immediately to make the road safer.
So the second question, what can the IRF do to help these road authorities?
You know, the IRF, one thing that people don't understand about the IRF is the importance of the committees that the IRF has. We have basic committees on road safety, basic committees on asset management, which is a very important issue, committees on ITS, they're very active. And in the road safety side, we have subcommittees on roadside safety, subcommittees on work zones, subcommittees on vulnerable road users, subcommittees on enforcement, which is a very, very important one, subcommittees on driver behavior, education, and training. So again, one thing the IRF can do, there's only so much the IRF can do, to be perfectly honest with you. People need to take advantage of what the IRF has to offer. But if you don't ask and you don't try, if you don't get involved, there's only so much the IRF can do for somebody. They need to understand that it's available. They need to understand that the IRF is there to help, but then somebody needs to reach out and get involved. And we're more than happy to get involved and help people who ask us and help us. And we'll continue to help until we all accomplish the goals that we're out here to do. So again, I think what the important thing is for people to understand what the IRF can do for them. Go to the website, visit the website, join the IRF, get involved in the mission, be a part of the IRF, not just to say I paid my dues and I have a card. That's not enough. You got to get involved and utilize the tools that the IRF has in the committees, in the training programs, in the regional congresses, in the opportunities to network and meet other people, because the more we work together, the more powerful the force is going to be, and we will meet the road safety challenge.
So, fantastic. The final question, maybe to sum it up, what in your opinion are the immediate 3 things that can be done by us road authorities?
You know, a couple things. Number one, having that strong National Road Safety Council is critical. And we've heard about the road safety councils in the region. They have some are not funded. If you don't fund the road safety councils, you don't have a road safety council. It's a figurehead. And they can't be powerful. They can't do what they need to do. So again, I would say make sure that Road Safety Council is not only organized, that Road Safety Council also is powerfully funded and effectively funded so they can do their job. The second thing is understand this thing called the safe system approach. Safe system approach is something that's been utilized by the UN, the Decade of Action. Basically what it says is there's 3 things. Forgiving roads. Design things into your roads. Understand that people are going to make mistakes on the road. Promise you they'll make mistakes. And what you need to do is design things into your roads using the state-of-the-art best technologies, become aware of them, use them, and then when people make those mistakes, they don't pay for the mistake with their lives. You know, we don't try to eliminate all the accidents, that's not possible. There's going to be crashes. Worried about the people inside the cars. Damaged cars are okay. That's the reason God invented insurance companies. It's okay. People inside the cars are the ones we're worried about. So that's number one. Second part of that safe system approach talks about the safer vehicles. And as I said, the vehicles will still crash, but they're designed to protect the people inside. That technology is available. You need to start using it if you're not using it already. And the last thing is safer speed limits, proper speed limits. In areas you're going to have a pedestrian interact with a vehicle, get that speed down to about 30 kilometers an hour. And that's really simple to say, because the other thing that's critical is making sure you've got proper enforcement. The police reforms. If I know, although the speed limit's 30 kilometers an hour, if I can go 50 or 60 and if I'm stopped by the police and I can just pay some money and walk away, I'm not going to obey that speed limit. It's just human nature. I'm not going to do it. So you need to have that strong push starting at the top, and it always has to start at the top, for safety, and in this case, for police reform, to make sure the police understand how important it is for them to do their job and to do it properly, and for the people to have the confidence and the trust. We saw a great example here from Georgia. Great model, you know, you show you can be done, you really can do this. And the last thing I would say, and this is kind of a simple thing, but if you're in a road authority in this region and you don't have a total passion and commitment and dedication to safety, the best thing you can do for the motorists is tomorrow morning turn in your resignation. Quit your job. Let us find somebody who does have that passion and commitment. Let the IRF work with those people to give them the tools they need to be able to do their jobs, and we will make the road safer. Maybe not for me and for people my age, but certainly for our children and our grandchildren, and that's what we need to do. You need to keep in mind, there's a great quote, it says, "A strong society is one where men plant trees with no expectation to enjoy the shade." It's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the next generations. We've got to believe that, and we can make it happen.